What's up everybody, it's me Murdock, and today I'm here with a review for the latest installment in Sony's Spider-Man universe, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. The follow-up to the 2018 film Venom once again follows journalist Eddie Brock as he's assigned to interview notorious serial killer Cletus Kasady, who is currently being held behind bars. After Cletus gets a hold of his own alien symbiote, he escapes from prison with one goal in mind: to create carnage. I had very low expectations for this movie, I'm gonna keep it real. And honestly, I think that this movie is best enjoyed if you go in with low expectations as well. There's a couple of key factors about this movie that served as cautionary red flags for me before going in to see them, and they are as follows. The movie is rated PG-13, it's another Sony Marvel movie, it's only 97 minutes long, and the name of it is Let There Be Carnage. The title alone, along with all of the things that I just listed, should let you know exactly what kind of movie this is. To me, there was only really a certain level of good that I thought that this movie could even possibly reach with all of these key ingredients being involved, and it ended up being basically exactly what I thought it was gonna be. The first Venom movie for me wasn't necessarily a good one, but it was a fun one, and I enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to. And with this being the sequel, I kind of expected, or at least hoped, that this would be the same, and it basically is, more or less. The surprise element of the first film that I really enjoyed and wasn't expecting at all was this odd couple buddy comedy relationship between Eddie and his symbiote. I thought that there was a lot of very funny moments from it and a strangely endearing quality to it as well. Now this follow-up takes that very specific element from the first film and pushes it front and center for this one. Now I think that's gonna divide some fans, because if you like that relationship aspect from the first film, then you're probably gonna have a blast with this one. But if that was something that didn't work for you in the first film, then I got bad news for you. I mostly embraced these parts in the movie. It led to a lot of comedic moments. This movie is heavy on the comedy and trying to make the viewer laugh from this strange relationship. So much so that it can become a little bit too much at times, since the jokes are shot out in such a rapid fire manner, and of course because of that, not all of the jokes land. There was multiple occasions though that I legitimately did laugh out loud, so when the jokes do land, they're pretty funny. This movie really embraces the goofiness of the first one because it's a pretty silly film overall. That at least made it fun though, because I wasn't bored in the movie at all. I was entertained, but not necessarily because it's a good movie, but just because it's a goofy one. Like I mentioned before, the movie is only 97 minutes long, so there's not much downtime, and because of that, it feels very fast. It starts off very quickly by just throwing us into the plot pretty much from the get-go and just moves at an extremely rapid pace all the way until the ending. Now, I have mixed feelings about this approach personally. Part of me liked it because it was refreshing to see a superhero movie that didn't feel the need to drag itself out to the now standard 2.5-hour grand epic. This movie is a fun throwback to the 90-minute blockbuster, which we haven't had in some time. It knew it was there to be dumb fun, it did that, and then it dipped. I can respect that. But I also didn't like this approach because it's Venom versus Carnage, man. This is something that I've been waiting to see since I was a kid. I wanted to soak in every second of this matchup, not just get one fight at the end between the two of them. Like, let's go Godzilla versus Kong style, man. Give them a couple of matches throughout the whole movie and just let loose. And the final battle was entertaining, don't get me wrong, I just wanted more of it. And of course, because of the quick pace, the storytelling can suffer because it's not just Venom and Carnage we're dealing with here. We're also introducing Cletus as a character. We're also introducing Shriek and the relationship between the two of them. We've also got Anne and Eddie's relationship as well. And on top of that, what takes up pretty much a bulk of this movie is the relationship between Eddie and his symbiote. There's so many things being explored in this movie, and while everything is touched upon and backstories are given, it's still only as much as you can stuff into a 90-minute movie. Now, the big thing about this movie, which you probably already knew, is that it's rated PG-13, and that is a big red flag for a movie that's focusing on a serial killer who only wants carnage. Director Andy Serkis said in an interview that this movie is pushing the limits of a PG-13 rating. It's not. The rating shows very clearly. It's extremely obvious that this is a PG-13 movie when the carnage happens. And to be honest, I know that we've had Logan and Joker and Deadpool and this string of successful R-rated superhero movies in the recent years. But as soon as this movie was announced, I knew that there was no way Sony was gonna make this rated R. I don't think it was ever even an option, though it obviously should have been. Because of money and this new relationship between Sony and Disney, we got a PG-13 Carnage movie, and I'm not surprised at all. So at this point, it's just like, I'll take what I can get, I guess, but I'm not really happy about it. It's got all the ingredients of a PG-13 movie, like blood is rarely shown, the kills happen off screen, and when they do happen on screen, they're obscured because like a car is being thrown so you can't really see the body. It's entertaining chaos, but it's not really carnage, and that's disappointing when that's literally the name of the movie. Now, Woody Harrelson was an unexpected choice for Cletus, but a nice surprise when he showed up at the end of the first Venom movie. He's a great actor, obviously, always has been, always will be, and he does a really good job in the role. He lets loose and is obviously having a great time on screen, so he just really sells the character. Naomi Harris is also good as Shriek, but she doesn't really get much to do. Like, she's Cletus's crazy girlfriend who has powers somehow, but that's really it. Like, I get why she's there because she brings out that tiny sense of humanity in Cletus because he does love her. But in terms of character, she didn't get much to work with, and in the end just felt kind of crammed in here since there's already so much going on in the movie already. Michelle Williams actually came out of nowhere with doing a great job as Anne. Like, Michelle Williams is a great actor, let me make that clear, but I just don't really remember her character in the first movie if I'm being completely honest. But she was great in this movie, tons of personality, and she seemed like she was having a really good time. And same with Tom Hardy. I mean, obviously he's the star. A bulk of the movie is him arguing with Venom, so essentially himself. And he's already proved with movies like Locke, great film by the way, that he can carry an entire movie by being the only one on screen, so he once again does a great job as Eddie Brock. He just seems so frazzled, like if he's been up for days because he can't get any sleep with Venom in his head constantly. He's just living in this mess of an apartment with an alien that's constantly attached to him, and he just really sells it. He's a big frantic mess in this movie, and Tom really delivered on the performance, so I'm excited to see him continue as the character in the future. I really ended up with a lot of similar feelings with this movie as I did with the first. The movie is dumb, it's goofy, there's tons of leaps in logic where stuff happens and I'm just like, sure, why not? Like in one scene, the symbiote hacks into a computer somehow by going inside of it, and it's just like, whatever, if you say so, and that's kind of what this movie is. It's dumb fun, and it seems like it knows it is. Andy Serkis leaned real hard into the goofiness and the over-the-top side of things for this one, so there's a lot of really funny moments and some cool symbiote action as well. It wasn't really a good movie, but it was at least enjoyable, especially after going in with such low expectations. It is disappointing though, because I hate that I had to have these types of feelings in preparation to watch a movie that I've been waiting to see for years. I think that if it was just a little bit longer, it could have properly fleshed out all of the characters and gave us more than one fight, and then it would have been a lot better. And of course, the dream of it having been made in some universe that would have given it an R rating, but unfortunately that's not what we got. The movie also made a choice at the end which I just wasn't a fan of. I'm not gonna get into spoilers in this video, but I knew they were gonna do it, and then they did it, and then I was just disappointed. Pretty good mid-credit scene though, that I will say. So yeah, in the end, I had fun with the goofiness of it and some of the action, but I was just disappointed by the overall product. So I'm gonna give Venom, Let There Be Carnage, a B-. But that's just my opinion, and I want to know yours, so let me know in the comments. What did you think of the movie? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you have a blast seeing Carnage on the screen for the first time? Or were you disappointed by his debut? Let me know, but just keep it spoiler free for the people who didn't see it yet. And if you could do me one more favor while you're down there and like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, it would help me out so much with getting my videos out to a bigger audience. Once again, thank you so much for watching. My name's Murdock, and I'll catch you next time.